Are you ready?
I'm ready.
We're going to be talking about a film that I don't think we've ever mentioned on this show
I don't
before.
think we've ever reviewed it. I'm almost positive we've never ever reviewed this movie on the show.
And it is from Victor Salva, the man, the myth, the pedophile. Jeepers Creepers.
You know what? I gotta say,
That he likes to fuck kids.
he does. But the thing is like, and he should be made fun of
Folks,
because of
don't
this.
diddle your kids. Don't
Yeah,
diddle kids,
he
period.
should be. But the thing is, like, nobody, and there's the people that do not ever want to see this movie just based on the fact that he, like, you know, blew a 12-year-old boy years ago.
I don't even know what he did, to be honest. I've never really heard the story
Well,
behind all that. But
basically, like, in a nutshell, he busted it on a kid. Basically.
oh, that is sick.
But the thing is, okay, evidently what happened, there was a 12-year-old boy that he molested in some way. I'm sure you can find out exactly what he did on the internet. But he also, like, recorded it as a video of some sort of it. And I think that's how he got caught.
I just have a question about that. How is that man allowed to make movies like after that happened? Like, how is he not completely...
Well, especially movies that have this kind
yeah.
of...
How was he not blacklisted, like,
I don't know.
entirely for that?
That is weird, but, you know, he spent... For some reason, he only spent, like, just a little over a year in prison for the whole thing. So I don't know what the deal is with that. But, you know what? I will watch a movie for what the movie is. And Jeepers Creepers came out, oddly enough, makes me feel like an old son of a bitch. It came out 11 years ago, 2001. And a lot of people still praise this movie. And, like, over the years, for some reason, I don't know what it was, if I just forgot about it or what, but, like, I really was like, what in the fuck are people going on about the movie so much for? I mean, it's okay,
Right.
you know. But I went back and rewatched it for the first time in over 10 years, I'm guessing, or longer. And it really is a great movie. I mean, it kind of surprised me a little bit because I didn't remember the movie being nearly as good as it is. I mean, possibly the last 10 minutes kind of, a blah ending, I guess. There's nothing really, but most of the movie's actually really, really, really freaking good. But anyway, you want to talk about the movie?
Well, starts off with brother and sister Justin Long, and I forget the woman who's in it.
Gina Phillips, I think.
Okay. And they're on like a cross-country trip, and they are kind of like just doing the normal stuff. They point out like certain cars and license plates, stuff like that. So all of a sudden, this car comes up behind them, almost runs them off the side of the road. And later on down the road, they pass the car, and the driver is apparently dumping bodies out into a giant tunnel, like a chute or something like that. And then from there, he's following them, and you start to figure out that there's something more to this character than just like a normal guy. And the whole rest of the movie is just, it's weird because it's them trying to figure out, number one, what he is, number two, what he's trying to do, and number three, there's a psychic involved that is giving them clues about what's going on and all this stuff too. So he's kind of chasing after them while they're simultaneously trying to keep him from killing anybody else. And
there was a couple of movies similar to this that came out around that time too. Like there's another really good movie that I always enjoyed as well called Joyride.
Right.
Which I don't remember being as successful in the theaters, but it's along the same sort of lines. It's somebody in a car chasing them throughout the whole movie, pretty much.
It's a good movie.
And Jeepers Creepers, those like the, in the sequel, I think they divulge a little bit more about the creeper and the fact that he goes after primarily young males.
Imagine it.
Which, yeah, and they call it Jeepers Creepers too. It's a little strange. But, I mean, I'm all for them continuing this series, and they're actually working on the third one right now. Even though the second one, I remember the second one being horrible.
Dude. The second one fucking so bad. Oh, God. Like, I remember watching that, and I was just, I can't even believe it's the same.
Yeah, didn't they steal the whole sword from a South Park episode too?
Yeah, pretty much. They're
And
all on top of the school bus the entire episode, or the
something
entire
else too
movie.
that somebody talked about on Facebook that I'd heard about, but I'd never did get to see the actual Unsolved Mysteries segment. The opening, probably 30 minutes or so of Jeepers Creepers is lifted almost entirely, even like storyboarded entirely after an Unsolved Mysteries episode.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't I tell you about that
Yeah,
the
you
other day?
told me a little bit about it, but I
It's you have to watch it. Like I'll post it on your Facebook so you can check it out. It's like you watch it and you're like, God damn, you if you were glancing at it, you would think it was the movie. Like that's how close it looked.
that's kind of funny though. That
It
somebody
is.
actually watched that.
Well, I'm there's no doubt that he
Yeah,
did. There is no doubt.
he's too busy diddling kids to actually make the first part of the
Yeah.
movie.
But in all seriousness, I mean the fact that like he, whether or not we like it or not, he paid for his crimes.
He diddled a kid.
He diddled a boy. He spent some fucking jail time, and he is living like nobody can talk about any of these movies without talking about the fact that he's a child molester,
Right.
and he's on the website for whatever that is, the
Don'tDiddleYourKids.com.
yeah, the diddledictionary.com.
Diddle Dictionary.
So he's living the rest of his life in shame, which I mean I agree he probably should be. But you got to look at these movies for what they are. They're movies. He directed a movie. It was a good fucking movie, you know. And I'm shocked at how much I actually enjoyed Jeepers Creepers. And the Blu-ray for $7.88 at Walmart is fucking amazing. I think that I think you mentioned too, because MGM released.
They released Killer Clowns, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, and this one at the same time, and it's by far the best looking of
Yeah.
all those movies.
But
Uh, man, like I remember when I saw this movie, when it first came out, I thought it was probably one of the best modern horror films to come out around that time. And I still think that. I still think that it holds up really well. People hate it for some reason. There's just a group of people that fucking hate it with a passion, and not even related to him being a child molester. It's just related to like they just hate the movie. They think it's
right,
silly or whatever. But I think that nothing else like this was being made around that time, and nothing else was made really like that afterwards either. Like just a monster movie, a straight up kind of monster sci-fi-ish kind of movie
yeah.
that was unheard of around the time Hostel and shit was getting really popular.
Well, he had. Yeah. Well, I don't know. This was a little bit before the
Well, yeah,
whole.
I'm just saying, like, that's one of the last movies like that to
Yeah.
really.
I mean, if you go back to 2001, I can't even really remember. I think Final Destination had just come out not long before that, and I think they were kind of in a, in between transition the Scream type movies onto
Right.
whatever would come after, you know. And a few movies definitely got lost in the shuffle. I think this is probably one of them. I mean, even though it was a hit at the time, but now people just don't really talk about it as much. And I think Joyride is definitely another one that's the same type of movie that people never really reference anymore, and it's a solid movie for sure.
Let's talk about the positives of the movie, though. The look of the creeper is great.
Oh yeah,
The acting from Justin Long and Gina Phillips is great. Um,
the only thing that about the movie that I like, they do have some random characters, like you mentioned, the psychic lady.
that's the weirdest part of
But
the movie.
she doesn't even belong in the movie, really.
Right.
And then the cat lady, like,
Right.
how in the fuck does she belong in the movie either? Like, that was just, I think that some of these characters were just created to take up time or something.
Yeah. I guess if you're trying to make an Unsolved Mysteries episode, lengthen it out, you got to do something.
Yeah.
The end of it, though, well, not the very end, but the part where they're in the prison and all that stuff in the jailhouse, I thought that was a really cool sequence where all the deputies are being picked off one by one, by the creeper and
One of
him.
the cool thing too about the creeper as well is, he sprouts out wings and flies away with the young boy to take advantage of.
Oh no!
I'm gonna get you, boy.
Got you back in my lair.
Um, yeah, the movie does have great atmosphere too. Like,
It's got a theme song as well.
yeah,
Jeepers Creepers.
which is good.
Yeah.
You but yeah, Jeepers Creepers, like, for anybody that, I don't know, maybe you weren't old enough to really enjoy it as much, maybe you just want to revisit something. I think for $7.88, fuck, get it. Because I couldn't believe. I thought it was one of those movies that I would put it on and be like, hey, I'll watch it for 15 minutes and I just won't get interested and I'll turn it off. Because I've done that before with a lot of shit. But no, I watched the whole damn thing and I enjoyed it. I mean, again, the last 10 minutes or so, they probably could have done a little bit better, but I thought overall it was really good. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I always like this movie. Uh, you can do a lot worse for a modern horror film, so buy that shit immediately.
And there's actually some extras on it. You have audio commentary with our good buddy Victor Salva. She talks about, behind the peepers, making of Jeepers Creepers.
Behind the what?
Peepers.
No, okay.
Deleted scenes and extended scenes photo gallery, and original theatrical trailer. And like we were saying,
There's also a Victor Salva's home movie collection.
there is.
But you don't want to watch that.